Good evening, welcome. We are very cognizant of the fact that the Phillies play at 8:08, I think, is first pitch. So I already promised Mr. Papilli that we would get him home in time for first pitch. So we want to be respectful of your time. Go ahead and get started. So what we want to do tonight is introduce a wonderful new opportunity that St. Elizabeth High School will be offering beginning next year, and that is our Viking Pathways program. So just by way of introduction, my name is Patrick Jordan. I'm the principal of the high school. I have been at St. Elizabeth for 10 years now. Before this, I was the Dean of Academics. Before that, I was the department chair for the Social Studies Department and a Social Studies teacher.
And my name is Miss Ashley Kelly. I am our Dean of Academics. This is my 5th year here at St. Elizabeth. I'm also one of our math teachers. And kind of a fun fact about me, I actually started in business. So I was in corporate America for 6 years before I made the jump to education. I love the jump. I love working in education, and I'm really excited that we can kind of blend both worlds with this. So as a math teacher, I approach pretty much everything in my life from a point of data. So I kind of want to tell you how this all got started. I just mentioned my background is corporate America, so it's always kind of been on my mind, how can I blend these worlds? And while that's on my mind, I have Mr. Papilli and Mr. Jordan who are also saying, wouldn't it be cool if we could really bring career into our school? So all three of us were kind of on this page, and I thought, well, what better way than to figure out what our students are interested in? So this is a quick poll that we did for the class of 2024. And it shows what they are interested in majoring in. As soon as I saw this data, my data-loving self was like, oh my God, we have a correlation here. We have 38% interested in a medical career, 24% in business, and 14% in both education and technology. That other 10% packs in 10 or 12 majors even. So it wasn't like we could pinpoint one more particularly. It was overwhelming that these 4 were what our students were interested in. So to kick us off, we actually have a video for the class of 2024.
I want to major in education.
I want to major in computer science.
I want to major in nursing.
I want to major in business.
I want to major in business management.
I want to major in psychology, and I want to be a school counselor.
I want to major in biochemistry on a pre-med track.
Majoring in quantum computing.
Majoring in education.
I major in physical therapy.
To major in early childhood education.
I want to major in pre-med anesthesiology.
I either want to major in physical education or business.
I want to major in computer science.
Majoring in occupational therapy and hoping to work in elementary school.
Major in business and data analytics.
I'm majoring in psychology in hopes of becoming a child psychologist.
I want to major in finance and business.
I'm majoring in biology in hopes of going to medical school. Same.
Major in business.
To major in information systems technology.
So jazzy music aside, we really wanted to find some sort of program that was going to marry what we already do exceptionally well, which is our college prep curriculum, and to create this career readiness program that's going to be able to best suit the needs of our students. Like Ms. Kelly was saying, the data was overwhelming. So rather than trying to fit a round peg into a square hole, we decided to really embrace those fields that our students are already interested in, and we were able to develop these 4 pathways. So the medical pathway, the education pathway, the business pathway, and the technology pathway. And as this idea began to take shape, we really saw opportunities for industry exposure, for co-op experiences, for unique electives that are really only being offered here at St. Elizabeth. And we saw an opportunity to build upon our already existing college prep curriculum. The one thing to really note about this is it is not a replacement for our college prep curriculum. It is a supplement to what we're already doing. It's a way to target some of those electives that students are taking so that they can ultimately get something out of it that they feel will help them at the next level. And if a student's not interested in one of these 4 pathways, that's fine. We still have our traditional college prep experience that is available to all of our students with our robust AP programs, with our dual enrollment partnerships. So really, it's all about giving students choice and autonomy over their education.
Yeah, so what better way to kick off than really talking about that college prep curriculum? This is really the heart and soul of our St. Elizabeth education here. All students will still be required to take 4 math courses, 4 English courses, and 4 theology credits, in addition to the 3 or more science and social studies credits, 2 or more world language credits, 1.5 health and wellness credits, and half of a credit of art. So we're still focusing on these core electives and classes that make us a college prep school. In addition, it's something to really highlight for our school. We have 12 AP courses, 15 honors courses, and dual enrollment through 3 universities. So Mr. Jordan spoke about, if these 4 pathways don't look like what you want, there are still more than enough courses to fill your schedule. In fact, for the student who might want to focus on AP courses and dual enrollment courses, that traditional pathway is really what's going to keep them in our college prep curriculum. So all freshmen, regardless of which pathway you choose, or if you do choose the traditional pathway, will take a career exploratory seminar. I'm so excited to bring this to our school because it's here to benefit all of our students. So during AFP, which is our activity flex period, freshman students will participate in this career exploratory. And really the point of this is to help them discover what career might be best for them, which pathway might be most interesting. But also some skills that really just benefit you in the long run in both college and career. So goal setting, professionalism, soft skills, how to talk with people, how to have a meeting, how to write a resume, all these leadership type skills and business skills that are going to carry our students far no matter which pathway they do choose in life. So this is a requirement for all freshmen. Starting next year, it will be offered during AFP.
So kind of going into each of these pathways, we're going to start with our medical pathway because as the data really shows, we have a very strong interest in the medical professions. So this sort of program is going to be very helpful for people who want to get into nursing, or they want to get into medical assisting, or they perhaps want to get into physical therapy, or want to work as an EMT. So there's lots of different options within this particular pathway. The really nice thing about this pathway, as well as all of our pathways, is there's the potential for a professional certification at the end of someone's senior year. In this case, the AMCA Medical Assistance Certification. Now, we find that a lot of our students go on to nursing school, and God bless them for it. I certainly couldn't. So what a lot of these students can opt to do is leverage our dual enrollment partnerships with Wilmington University, Immaculata University, and the University of Delaware to earn some college credit while they're still enrolled at St. Elizabeth. So from the perspective of parents who are looking forward to paying for college, having to just get those 3 credits out of the way is certainly appealing as you look towards paying for school. So the really nice thing about here is, about this particular program is that there's options. So if somebody's interested in that AMCA cert, that's available for them. There's a test that they take, and we will be there to guide them and assist them every step of the way. If they're interested in college and knocking out some prereqs, that's an option for them as well.
So our curriculum for the medical pathway, it's really 1 targeted elective per year until you get to your senior year, which involves the co-op. So sophomores, if they enter into this pathway, all students will choose a pathway at the start of sophomore year, or really the end of freshman to get ready for sophomore. But if they do choose the medical pathway, they will start in an anatomy and physiology course for their sophomore year. This is a great one to start in because you'll know after this course if you want to do this or not. There are a lot of bones to memorize. So it's a really good one to welcome students, but it's also the prereq for any medical course after that. Junior year, all students will take the medical law and ethics course. And the reason we chose this course in particular is this is one of the 3 key areas on the AMCA certification test. So the actual areas are the anatomy, the science of medicine, medical law and ethics, and medical assisting. And so that brings us to senior year, kind of building on what Mr. Jordan said. Students have that option senior year. They can either stay with our medical assisting course, go through that course and take the certification and probably get a co-op in that particular role. Or they could head the dual enrollment pathway, which is really if you are planning to go to school for nursing, you can get that college credit out of the way.
Our education pathway, which is understandably probably my favorite, there are lots of opportunities in education, whether it is teaching, whether it is serving as a teacher's assistant, whether it is working in administration or working in curriculum design or as an instructional support coach. There's lots of things that you can do in education. So this particular pathway is really exciting because we have the benefit of our elementary school right here. That is built-in co-op experience with our students, and I'm sure Ms. Myers in the elementary school would love the extra sets of hands. So this is a wonderful opportunity where at the end of someone's senior year, they would potentially be able to take that para-pro certificate if they wanted to work as a paraprofessional. And a lot of people, as they go to school to become an educator, will work as a para as a way of not only getting experience, but also helping to pay their way through that college experience. So this is a really exciting program for anybody who's even remotely interested in education.
So our education curriculum, and again, we pick up in sophomore year. Sophomores would take the childhood development course and really learn all the way from pre-K up through that middle school age and maybe even some of the high school. But a lot of those development years are spent from pre-K through middle school. Junior year, they would take a pedagogy course, which is all about how to be a teacher. How do you write lesson plans? What does it mean to be a teacher in the professional sense? And their senior year would be curriculum and instruction. So now we get into how do we lay a unit out? How do we make sure that we're assessing students on all the right standards and all the things we've taught? And senior year is, of course, where they'll get that co-op experience too, which is really great, especially for education, because I know the first time I had to write a lesson plan, I was so scared that I was doing it wrong. And it's really great to be able to partner at a high school or within our elementary school program with somebody you already know and have as a mentor to kind of help you learn the ropes.
For our business pathway, there is so much that you can do within the field of business, whether it be marketing and communications, whether it be working in finance and banking and entrepreneurship. And this particular pathway, like our others, does have the possibility of certification. In this case, the ESB Small Business Certification exam that students would be able to take during their senior year. Also very similar to the medical pathway, if we have students who know that they want to go on to college and study something very specific within the business world, we have those dual enrollment partnerships where they can take a class in business ethics or business terminology or something along those lines, because all of our partners offer really strong business courses that our students would be able to take advantage of.
So our curriculum here starts off with organizational structures, which is a really long title and it covers a whole lot. So Mr. Jordan said education is probably his favorite pathway. From my experience, I would say I really like the business one. Organizational structures walks you through all those questions that you might have about how does a business function? What are the different roles that people have within a business? What do leadership roles look like? How do you be a leader even in the position you are in? So it really walks you through what is business. It's such a broad word, and it really will help kind of navigate what that means. We're also partnering with Junior Achievement for our business curriculums, and so this will partner with one of theirs as well of just Introduction to Business. During their junior year, it's kind of a half-year course mixed with another half-year course. So the first half of the year will focus on banking and finance, which again is really kind of my favorite, brings me back to my corporate America days. And they get to learn all the stuff about accounting in that course. And then the other half of the year, they get what some might call the more fun things of marketing and communications and graphic design and how do you market your brand. So they kind of get both of those big business worlds within that year. And then senior year, if students choose the entrepreneurship route, we have an entrepreneurship small business course to really give them the tools they need to successfully start a business someday. That goes hand in hand with the entrepreneurship and small business certification, which really is a pat on the back for the students. When they leave high school, they have this certification that proves they are ready to run a business. But if your student is really on the college pathway of going for business, that's again where we do recommend the dual enrollment, cover one of those business kind of first year courses for freshmen, and get those 3 credits out of the way.
Our technology pathway is actually something that we have been doing for a few years now without formally naming what it is. And there are, as we all know, a whole litany of things that you can do within that field. This is where the jobs of the future are. So you can do things like informational technology, computer programming, you can work in engineering of data and software, and a million jobs that don't even exist yet. So this is a great opportunity for students to gain that experience within that particular field. And there is, like our other pathways, a certification test, the CompTIA A+ certification, which we have had several students complete successfully in recent years. And that is considered to be the gold standard for people who are working in these help desk and information technology type of scenarios.
So our curriculum here, as Mr. Jordan said, we've been offering these courses. We're just formalizing it. So sophomores would take Introduction to Computer Science, which is just like what it sounds like. Computer science is a very broad area, and it kind of dips our toes into each of those broad areas. So part of this course is on programming with JavaScript on code.org. And the other part really covers cybersecurity. How does the World Wide Web work? So all that kind of stuff. AP Computer Science would be our junior year. And as somebody who has taught this course, it's a great course for all students to learn. Again, similarly, half the year is spent on programming and coding. However, we use the Python language here, which I don't know if we have any coders in the crowd, but that is really the language that is most often used right now. It also covers cybersecurity, data, algorithms, even how a computer works, what's going on in the inside of your computer, and what are all those ones and zeros doing. So that's our AP Computer Science course. Students would have to take that AP exam at the end of the year where they could earn college credit. So again, it's a good way for students to get that early college credit in. And that says curriculum, so sorry guys. The last course is called Hardware Software, and it's really all for the A+ certification. So Hardware Software and Systems covers everything we need to pass that A+ exam. It's not only how do you build a computer, but how's that computer working? How do all these things fit together? And it's really designed to help those students pass that certification. So the co-op experience, I know the students love this part. Like when we brought this up, they were all like, wait, so I can work during the day? That's possible? So senior year, our students would get the chance to co-op. For next school year, that really is going to be tough because our current juniors won't really have had that foundation that they need to co-op. However, I think if a student is in education or technology, there is the option to start partnering with St. Elizabeth and kind of dip our toes into the co-op next year. But the way this will work, so in the afternoons, the students will leave school and head out to a co-op, a work experience with somebody that we have partnered with. We've got partnerships through our alumni connections, and we're continuing to grow those partnerships over this next year. The great things that come out of the co-op, first off, just real-world experience. I know when I got in my first professional job, I was so like fish out of water. I didn't know how to act and what everybody was doing. So just gives you that experience of what it's like to work in a professional workplace. It's great for resume building. I know half the entry-level jobs I see sometimes say, well, you need experience, but that's an entry level. And how do our students get that experience? So having a co-op experience allows them to build their resume while they're still a student in high school. And probably my favorite part of the co-op is the mentors and the partnerships you make along the way. I think of letter of recommendations. The people that you work with in this co-op experience are there to help you grow as an individual and to learn this career and to navigate college if you choose that pathway and how college affects that type of career. These are people who can really help our students grow even after they've graduated and left our school.
So really what we're offering here is something that we think is really unique. It is a blending of what we already do well with something that we see as a need and an identified area of interest for our students. We are still St. Elizabeth. You are still getting that Catholic school education that you've come to expect. We are deeply rooted in our Benedictine spirituality. We are deeply tied to our parish, and we are still working to make sure that our graduates are people who can enter into the world and make it a much better place. So that is still at the heart of what we're doing. What we really want to do is we want to give that college prep type of education, but allow students to really focus in on something that they are driven by. We have some folks in high school who know exactly what they want to do with their lives, and we have some who don't. And this is a great way for a lot of our students to dip their toes in and see, is this something that I might be interested in doing for the rest of my life? Or is this something that I can take some really good skills from and apply it somewhere else? So what we're offering is this really unique experience to try to build upon our existing academic framework, as well as this religious community building type of environment that you've come to expect.
So since we've introduced this program, we have heard some frequent questions. So we figure before turning it over to you guys for questions, we'd start with some of the ones that we hear a little more frequently. And this one seems to be the first one I hear from most students, is what makes our Pathways program different from a VOTEC school? First and foremost, this is not becoming a VOTEC school. Our focus here is college prep curriculum. When you are at a VOTEC school, really the focus of that student's day is the career readiness courses. They get 3 or more credits a year in career readiness. We're really focusing that 1 credit per year. So we're still, the heart of our school is in our college prep curriculum. This career readiness is that supplemental elective. Currently, our students have 5.5 credits of electives, and we're turning those credits into career-focused credits. So that is really what makes us different. We are not standing as a VOTEC school. We are still very much a college prep program.
Can a student change pathways? How many college students change their majors? It happens, and these are high school students we're talking about. So yes, absolutely. There are opportunities where if a student comes in and they're really interested in that business pathway, or they're really interested in that medical pathway, and then sophomore year they take A&P, anatomy and physiology, and they say, whoa, maybe this isn't what I want to do. Students have the option before their junior year to change pathways, or perhaps to just take advantage of that college prep curriculum that we know and love. So there is the opportunity for students to make that change, and that career exploratory seminar that happens during freshman year is a nice way to really kind of get a sense before you even decide, do I want to do a pathway, and if so, which one?
So how does Viking Pathways benefit our students? I think we've shared a couple ways tonight. First and foremost, for me, this program is a benefit because it's not only preparing our students for college, it's preparing them for the step after college. And for me as a student, that's what I was missing when I got into the corporate America world. I was ready for college with my academics. I went through the academics in college, but I was missing some of those skills of just how do you work? Also, I'm that student that changed majors 4 times. If I had a Pathways program in high school, I really think that would have helped me kind of limit and focus on what I would want to do in college. And of course, college is expensive. So kind of exploring your options in high school helps you save a little in college and maybe not graduate late. But there's so many ways this can help. I think just exploring interests, giving them the soft skills and the leadership skills they need, no matter what pathway or career they choose, they're really going to be set up for success.
What are the options if a student does not want to participate in the co-op experience? Well, there's a few. Obviously, there are those dual enrollment partnerships that we have, which are a nice way to earn college credit. And of course, there is still our laundry list of really great electives taught by our fantastic teachers. So there are options if somebody doesn't want to participate in that co-op experience. And conversely, if somebody isn't in a pathway, but they're really interested in one of those courses, they really want to see what that entrepreneurship course is about, or they really want to take that A&P course, that's an option for them as well, so they can get that experience.
Speaking of dual enrollment, are there any prerequisites for the dual enrollment classes? So yes, there are. These are through college universities, and they stipulate each of them has a different threshold, but it is a GPA requirement. The key thing here, these are tough classes. They are college courses your student will be taking online in a room, in a virtual room full of other college students. It is at the college level. We never want to send a student into a dual enrollment if they're not going to be prepared to succeed. So we do go by that GPA threshold. With that said, if your student does not really want the course during senior year for medical or business and they want to take dual enrollment, that's something they should be thinking about during their freshman and sophomore years. Maintain that strong GPA. Work hard to get into that dual enrollment course. With that said, if we don't meet the threshold, there are of course other electives that your student could take in that place.
So what local businesses will be a part of the co-op experience? We are starting to find those partnerships, and the list keeps getting longer. So we are going to be working with First Aid Orthopedics. We are also going to be working to partner with St. Francis Hospital for that medical pathway. And anecdotally, I can tell you that we sent out this letter introducing the program to our alumni, and we have a vast alumni network. And the amount of emails that I have received over the last week and a half looking for opportunities to partner with us has been incredible. So we are working on creating those partnerships that are going to be local, obviously because we want to make sure that it's not cumbersome for our students to participate, but also really valuable hands-on working experiences. Not necessarily just stuffing things into envelopes, that typical intern type of experience, things there they can really grow and challenge themselves.
Okay, does a student have to take the professional certification test during their senior year? No. So if you are in the medical pathway, for instance, and you are not interested in becoming a medical assistant, there is no point in you taking that certification test, right? You're gonna have to study a lot. So if that's not something that interests the student, that's okay. It is not a requirement. It is more there to help supplement. So it's all about how are we supplementing this program. If your student is interested in what the certification provides, then it's a great opportunity for them to take that certification.
So at this point, we would like to turn it over to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand and volunteer a question. Yeah. So yes, we are looking at the possibility of all of our students actually looking at that towards our spring semester this year. So they'll kind of get a jump start on it so that they can be ready when we come around for next year. So that's something that's already going to be in place for our spring semester during our AFP period.
Yeah, so to kind of build upon that too, we really want to focus our spring semester on career. Having a career fair where people come into our gymnasium and let students really explore what these different career paths are like. We want to start spotlighting careers, whether that's during, a slot in the day that students sign up for and they come out to see what this career is all about. Our goal this year is to inform, to really make sure our students, especially the current SANE students, are set up to make sure if they want to choose a pathway, they have the tools and the knowledge to do so. Also, when we get close to course scheduling time, we'll have some sort of meeting, and we really want parents to be involved in this process of choosing a pathway, especially for our current freshmen and sophomores, because they really are going to get a benefit from most of this program.
Any other questions? Yes.
Computer science and business. Is there an opportunity for them to go into different pathways?
So there are 4 pathways right now. There's education as well. And as the program develops, we're going to be looking at other possibilities. Like we said, this was built out of student interest, and we are going to spend the next few years really listening and making sure that we're getting feedback and seeing if there are other interests as well. Yes? So the question is, are any other Catholic high schools offering anything like this? And the short answer is no. This is something that is new, and we think it's pretty innovative and something that's unique to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. That's fun. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's great. Thank you.
I think a huge part, especially within the world of Catholic education, is relationships and partnerships and coming together as a community. One thing you did say kind of lit a light bulb in my head. CPR, for anybody in the medical pathway, they will become CPR certified, first aid certified. That is all baked into our curriculum to make sure that they have that kind of prereq before they get into a medical office. So thank you.
Wow. It's scary.
Yeah. Awesome
Thank you so
thoughts.
much.
Thank you. Yeah,
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes.
Just coming from a teacher standpoint, who is going to be charged with teaching these career pathway classes? Because I know that you all wear a lot of hats, correct?
We do, yes. So the really nice thing about these pathways is a lot of them fall into the expertise and the passions of our teachers already. So we have a chemistry teacher in the high school who studied quite a bit with physical therapy, physical training in her college experience. And she is chomping at the bit to teach A&P and teach these medical pathway courses. So we benefit from having a really talented faculty where we have people who are banging down our doors wanting to teach these classes.
So it's not that you're requiring, I mean, I just look at the burnout, in all honesty.
Sure.
So it's not that you're requiring existing teachers to do things that they're not necessarily wanting to do.
Correct. No. And it's not adding any courses to teachers' teaching loads. And speaking from experience as a teacher, when you're teaching something you're passionate about and you're interested in, it's a heck of a lot easier than teaching something that you don't necessarily love.
What I do want to build upon on that is our electives. So right now, our teachers teach both core and elective courses. In the process of bringing Viking Pathways, we're also looking at our electives and really making sure that they're not stale and that they're meeting our students with what they're interested in. So there's kind of a renaissance of electives coming our way as well. And some of these courses fit right into that. So yeah, as soon as we brought this up after the faculty meeting, we had many teachers who were like, wait, I used to be a pre-K teacher. I'm good at childhood development. And of course, I was like, I would love to teach banking. So can we fit that in? So I think in this whole process, it's also going to be how are we reshaping electives and making sure our teachers still have a manageable workload.
It's a great question. Yes?
You were talking about this introduction in their freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to bring professionals into those classes so they can give like a 1 hour, hey, I'm an architect and this is what we do?
Yes, that is a part of the plan. So it runs during our activity flex period, which runs the exact same time every single day, which makes it a lot easier to bring in people because they know this is my time slot, this is what I want to talk about. So yes, we are planning on bringing in people from all kinds of different fields. We have the benefit of our alumni network. We have the benefit of some really great community partners. So that's certainly a part of that plan. Any other questions? Well, if you do have any questions and you want to ask us individually, we'll be around after this. Our emails are also up there. Mine is the pjordan@steschools.org. And then Ms. Kelly's is akelly@steschools.org. And then a lot of the information about this program is obviously on our website, which Mrs. Finkley does a wonderful job of keeping up to date. So thank you for that. So we want to thank you for being here. I know that it's always a bear to come out on a Tuesday night at 6:30, and we really, really appreciate you being here. This is going to be continuing conversation. This is a dialogue between the school, between families, between students. So we really look forward to continuing that conversation. And once again, thank you so much for being here. And I think we met our promise about first pitch.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys.